Hi there, it's Natasha here, and my job is to help as many people as I can to negotiate the right divorce settlement. And I've put together a series of case-style videos covering a variety of topics to help give you a better understanding and some clarity around different areas that come with divorce. Today, I'm going to discuss how retaining a residential mortgage can affect an individual's capacity to additional mortgage borrowing. Now, whether you're a legal advisor or you're going through a divorce yourself, hopefully you'll find the information I'm about to share with you helpful. I'm going to use a case study to help me, and the details of this case study are as follows. I'll base this on a single individual, aged 40, with 2 financially dependent children, earning £80,000 per year. They'll be retaining the former marital home for the benefit of their ex-spouse and the children to reside in, and I will assume that the property has a value of £400,000 with a £200,000 outstanding mortgage. And let's say the monthly mortgage payments are around £1,000. I've also assumed that they will have a 10% deposit towards the purchase of a new property, and that any new mortgage will run for 25 years until they're age 65. Now, there are a few other assumptions I would like to make clear, such as debt, of which I have assumed the individual has none. I've also not taken any deductions from salary into consideration, and I've assumed the individual would have a good credit score. Therefore, based on this financial scenario, and although maximum borrowing did vary, I can confirm that if the former marital home mortgage was retained, the individual could borrow around £280,000. However, this could increase to up to £400,000 if the former marital home was sold and the mortgage was paid off. I'm sure you can appreciate the difference in lending would be significant. Now, obviously, the difference in the amount of mortgage lending available is important, but as mentioned, the maximum lending varied in this scenario. So we also need to consider the lending criteria applied by various mortgage lenders when considering a retained residential mortgage. Now, some mortgage lenders are concerned with the overall indebtedness of the mortgage applicant and will therefore want to know what the outstanding balance of any mortgage is, along with the term of the mortgage, and they will then make their own calculations regarding the repayment of this mortgage. On the other hand, certain mortgage lenders will want to know the monthly payments, and some will also want to know details of the council tax and utilities associated with the retained mortgage property. And this is to ensure the applicant can afford to maintain these expenses if the spouse living in the property cannot pay them themselves. All lenders will calculate the month-to-month impact a retained mortgage will have on the applicant's outgoings, just like they would any other debt such as a credit card or a loan. Now, in this case study, you might be thinking that an individual in these circumstances would be pretty fortunate, and in many areas of the country they would be considered as having high earnings. They have no debt, and although they could borrow significantly less if the marital home was retained and they remained responsible for the monthly repayments, they could still borrow up to approximately £280,000 and therefore still be in a position to provide themselves with a sufficiently sized home. But what if the applicant in this scenario earned half the assumed salary of, say, £40,000 while still retaining the former marital home for an ex-spouse and their children to reside? Well, in this scenario, many mortgage lenders would be unlikely to offer any mortgage borrowing whatsoever, deeming further mortgage borrowing as unaffordable. Compare this to what might be available if the former marital home was sold and the mortgage paid off, then borrowing of up to £200,000 could be secured. This isn't such a fortunate position to be in. So, as you can see, it's never safe to assume what may or may not be affordable or available in terms of mortgage lending. And it's always best practice to find out in detail exactly how financial circumstances will be viewed by lenders before making any financial plans. Mortgage capacity assessments are a good tool to use to compare how maintaining any liability, and this might include loans and credit cards, might affect an individual's capacity to mortgage post-separation. Now, that's all from me today. Thank you for listening. If you would like to purchase a mortgage capacity assessment, please download the relevant pack from our website, or call me on the number showing on the screen if you have any questions. I'm Natasha, helping you negotiate the right divorce settlement.